Every summer, thousands of families obsess over one number, the college ranking. Here's an uncomfortable truth. That number might be the least important piece of information you have. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. I was reading through this week's college planning roundup, and one theme kept showing up. Families are chasing rankings like they're chasing a stock tip. And in the process, they're skipping the one conversation that actually matters, the money conversation. Here's what the research is showing. The fixation with rankings is a major driver of stress and mental health struggles in teenagers. Kids are picking schools based on a number instead of a fit. And parents are picking a financial strategy based on that same flawed logic. Chase the highest number, worry about the cost later. There is a newer trend worth talking about. Some families are choosing to go full pay. That means paying 100% of tuition, no financial aid, no negotiation. For some families, that opens doors. It can mean more choices, more leverage in the admissions process, sometimes even better outcomes. But here's the question nobody asks before writing that check. Where's the money coming from? And what does it cost you in liquidity? Picture a family with a $650,000 mortgage and a healthy amount of equity sitting in that home. Their instinct is to drain savings or pull a lump sum out of that equity and hand it over as a full pay tuition payment. It feels responsible. It feels like they're doing the right by their kid. Here's the problem. The moment that cash is gone, it's gone. No liquidity, no flexibility if a job changes, a health issue comes up, or a second kid needs tuition in 2 years. They solved for the ranking and the sticker price, and they ignored the strategy. This is the same mistake I see with mortgages every week. Families rush to pay down the loan early because it feels good on paper. But paying off debt early does not build wealth. It locks up cash you cannot get back without a lot of paperwork and a lot of time. Strategy beats rate always. I'll say it again. Strategy beats rate always. Full pay for college works the same way. How you pay matters more than the fact that you paid in full. So what does a smarter version look like? Instead of draining $60,000 or $70,000 in one shot, a family can structure tuition payments across the year using cash flow instead of cash reserves. The equity in that $650,000 home stays untouched, ready for the next emergency, the next opportunity, or the next kid's tuition bill. Same total cost, completely different risk. Now, here's a piece of good news buried in this week's research. There is a program called CLEP. It is run by the same organization behind AP exams, and it lets students test out of college coursework for a fraction of the cost of a semester. Most families have never heard of it. A single exam can run under $100 and replace a class that would otherwise cost $1,500 or more at many schools. Stack a handful of those exams together, and a family can shave a full semester, sometimes more, off 4 years of tuition. That is strategy. That is not a ranking, that is math. There is also a shift happening in how schools evaluate students. Admissions offices are moving away from a checklist of activities and towards something harder to fake. Genuine intellectual interest. A student who can talk with real depth about something they care about is standing out more than a student with a longer resume. That is good news for families because it means the years spent chasing prestige for prestige's sake are less valuable than the years spent letting a kid actually explore what interests them. So what does this mean for you? Whether your student is picking a school off a list or you're deciding how to fund 4 years of tuition, stop starting with the number everyone else is staring at. Start with a plan. Know your household cash flow. Know what liquidity you are protecting. Know which dollars can work for you instead of sitting locked in an account or trapped in home equity. That is exactly why we built KeySteps tool to help you. It walks you through budgeting, tracking your assets, and understanding your real cash position. So a decision as big as college does not blow a hole in your family's liquidity. Go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That's rsrlinks.com/keysteps and get a clear picture before you write that first tuition check. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free.